G'day folks, today we're going to be doing an unboxing and some test footage of the FeiyuTech G5. I haven't really used many other stabilizers other than the Karma Grip, which I really like, but I thought I'd like to try a few other ones, and I thought the G5 would be a good one to start with because it's got a lot of good reviews and a lot of people like it. So let's start with it. I'm going to do a quick unboxing first, and then we're going to go out into the field and see what it can do. So we'll just unbox it quickly here. So we have some literature, basically just standard stuff, tells us how to use it, different things. Whole bag of parts here. We have a weight. And here is the gimbal itself. Nice little neoprene case. And it's actually, just looking at it like that, this thing is quite small, when you compare it to the Karma Grip case, which is pretty big and bulky, longer. This thing would definitely fit in a backpack a lot easier. It's nice and thin. So that's actually kind of one nice little thing about it already. Silica gel. And there it is. Now I just want to point out, this is the updated version. You can tell by how it has that little sticker there. It says new 2017. The first generation of it did not have this little button here at the back. So I'll go over all the buttons in a little bit here and explain what they all do. Looks like a really nice quality build. This is kind of like a rubbery grip here. Feels nice in the hand. So yeah, it actually looks pretty sharp. And that's the other thing I'm noticing too, compared to the Karma Grip, it's actually very small and light, which is really nice if it's something you're going to be carrying around all day. So to set the unit up, first thing you're going to have to decide is what camera you're using in it. And if you're going to be using the Hero 3 or 4, you don't need to install the weight, the counterweight. You can just set the camera in there as is. Now I'm going to be using mine with the Hero 6, so I have to put the counterweight on. And in order to do that, we're just going to unscrew this little weight here. This is already a weight, and we're going to insert that one on just like so, and then screw the other weight back in. So again, that's if you're going to be using it with the Hero 5 or Hero 6. Next we'll put the battery in. We just untwist the handle like so. The little pointy piece goes at the top, and we'll just screw it in. Now, a couple of things I'll point out here before we get too far. Charging port here on the side for the micro USB. On the bottom, there's a larger threaded thing for accessories and a little 1/4-inch tripod thread there on the bottom. And the larger one there is for using things like this. This is an extension handle made for the FeiyuTech line, an aftermarket one, but FeiyuTech actually sells their own brand. And they just screw into the bottom like that. And as you can see, gives you a nice extension. So if you want to get some high shots, low shots, you can do it very easily without breaking your back. So it also has a 1/4-inch tripod thread there for different mounting options. The trigger button on the back. It's got a joystick on the front, LED light, power on mode button, and a 180-degree rotating button. And I'll go over them in a little bit here. So now we're going to install the Hero. We're just going to slide it in. Now this is one thing I don't love about it, but it is workable, is that the mode button on the Hero is hidden by when it's connected. So every time you want to turn it on, you gotta pull that out. Now you can use the quick record feature, but if you want to set some settings, you got to power it on manually to do that. So that's one thing I'm not loving with it, but it is workable. So now we'll just tighten in the screws. And as you can see, it's pretty well balanced just with the counterweight on there. To power it on, we'll hold long press the power button. And just like that, it comes to life. So here we are recording with the FeiyuTech G5, and I'm going to be recording at 4K 30 frames a second, stabilization on, and that's it. Now I'll be quiet so you can listen for gimbal noise and what kind of audio it can pick up. Just doing some stair climbing. So yeah, folks, it's been about a week since I filmed the first part of this video, so I've been able to use it quite a bit. And I must say I'm really enjoying this gimbal. It's a good quality build, and as you can see, the footage is actually really good. It does a really good job at smoothing things out, even when I was climbing stairs and doing different things like that. I really love how they've made it easy to add accessories like this extension pole that I showed you in the video. That's really brilliant. And not only that, adding a tripod to the bottom is very simple. This is the FeiyuTech tripod. You can buy it separately. I think it's about $10 to $12, something like that. But it makes it very easily mountable, setting on a table if you need to do some different shots like that. This is the updated version I think I mentioned earlier in the first part of this video. So it means it has this trigger button, and I'm going to go over that here in a minute, what the trigger button does. The other thing that the updated version has is, I have my camera on so I can't really show you, but they've added some felt in between here and along the back there just to help with vibrations and noise. So what I really like about this is the fact of its sheer size. Like, this thing is small and it takes up very little room in my backpack. So sometimes space gets really tight, and when you compare it to the case for the Karma Grip, you know, like, what a difference. Look at the thickness of them, you know. So that's very important. And then even if you look at the size of the gimbals itself, you know, there's quite a bit of size difference between the two. So I'm just going to power it on here and show you some of the basic functions. We just hold down the power button and it'll turn on there. Now, this is one issue, and I mentioned earlier in the video, is the mode button, also the power button of the Hero 5, is covered by the side here. So there's no way to turn it on. So that can be an issue if you're using like a Hero 4 or Hero 3, or the Hero 5 even. You can use the quick record, you know, turn it on that way, but then, you know, you can't change settings. It's just going to record at what it's set at. But the nice thing about the Hero 6 is it now has the power on command, so you can just say GoPro turn on, and there you go. So you don't have to worry about that limitation. And you know, that only works if the GoPro's been on in the last 8 hours. So, you know, before you plug it in, make sure that you've had it on at least once, and that way you can control it that way. Actually, the other quick thing I want to mention before we move on here is I really like that the camera is on this side of the gimbal. If you've watched any of my Karma Grip videos, you know, so that was one of the things I disliked about it, is that the camera sat on this side of the motor unit, and because I always hold it with my right hand, it's like it's always blocking the screen. So when you're trying to film something very specific, it's always in the way, and sometimes it's hard to line up your shots. So on this one, it's off to the left-hand side there, and you know, so when you're holding it in your right hand, you can always see the screen clearly. So that's a really nice feature. So basically, when you turn the gimbal on, it's in the pan mode. The camera's always going to be facing forward. You can press the button once, the mode button there, and that's going to lock the camera forward. So when you turn it, it doesn't matter which way you move it, it's always going to be locking, or it's always going to be facing forward. Hit it again, and that disables that feature. So now a double tap will put it into the follow feature. So whichever way you turn it, the camera is going to move. And that's where the trigger button comes in nicely. So if you are in this mode, but you want to just lock it, holding the trigger button will lock the camera. You release it, and then it'll go back. And one tap will put it back to normal. Now the 360 button is actually really handy, and it's a feature I think I would use a lot because I have another channel where I explore abandoned buildings, and I've been using my Karma grip on some of the videos that I've been working on, and you know, sometimes I like to do some commentary. I talk about the history of the building, any little bit of information I know about it. So I'm constantly turning the Karma around, facing me, trying to do different things, and you know, that shows up in the video, so then you got to edit it out. But with this one, you know, if you're filming something and you just want to get a shot of yourself, just hold the 360 button, and boom, there you go. When you're done talking, doing whatever you're doing, it'll just go right back. Makes a nice smooth transition, so you don't have to edit out if you don't want. So that's a really, really nice feature, and I'm really liking that. So I just want to show you here quickly how the app works that you can download, the Feiyu app. It can be downloaded from the App Store for Android and for the iPhone. So we're just going to launch the app. And from here, we're going to choose what model we have. So we are the G series. And there it's already selected the G5. So we're going to connect. So searching for devices, and now we select the gimbal. It's appeared there. So from here it gives us some basic functions. We can control the gimbal, as you can see here. So that's really handy. If you've got this mounted somewhere and you're filming something, you can actually get different camera angles without actually having to be physically at the camera. So that can come in handy for some certain situations. We can also go to settings, and gives us some options for like the follow, you know, how quickly the gimbals react, the motors react, I should say, joystick settings, how fast they are, how sensitive they are. You can also, for the auto rotation that I showed you at the beginning of the video for time lapses, you can set the speed and how long it takes to go a rotation, panning, tilting. You can set all that stuff up within the app here. So that's pretty cool that you can adjust some of those settings, you know, the how it reacts. There might be certain situations where you're filming a lot of high action and you want those gimbal motors to be a little quicker. That doesn't work in most situations because usually you want nice fluid motion, but if you do need it, you can adjust all that. So very cool. So all in all, you know, with all the features, this is actually going to give the Karma grip a run for its money in my books anyways. It's definitely going to be competing for space in my camera bag. I love the fact that you can replace the battery. The batteries for this are only about $14 to $15, I believe, so you can order a spare. And that way, you know, if you're out for the day and you're doing some filming, boom, you know, you can just change the battery if you don't want to have it plugged into a power bank. So a lot of thought definitely went into the making of this. And I am actually starting to like the FeiyuTech brand. I did a review on their WG2 and really enjoyed it as well. So really exciting to see what they're going to come up with in the future, what other products that they have maybe coming down the pipe. So folks, I'm going to include all the links down below, including the little tripod adapter, the extension stick, and the unit itself. Definitely check it out because if you're in the market for a gimbal, this is definitely a good value. You know, and another interesting thing too is this is $100 less than the Karma grip. Right now this is going for $199 compared to $299 for the Karma grip. And the Karma grip doesn't even come with the case anymore. It did when it first was released, but now you have to buy that separate, and I think it's about $40, whereas this still comes with the case. Albeit it's just a neoprene case. It doesn't give a lot of crush protection, but definitely, you know, gives you some protection. And, you know, as long as you're careful with your equipment, you're not going to damage it. If you have any questions about it or my thoughts on it, don't hesitate to message me or leave a comment down below, and I will answer them the best I can. Well, folks, I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative if you've been in the market for a gimbal and not quite sure what to get. I definitely recommend this gimbal. I have no issue with it at all, except the power button issue there, how it's kind of concealed. But like I said, with the Hero 6, not a big issue. And, with the older Heroes, you just have to power it on before you slide it in. So not a big issue as well. So folks, don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video informative and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have a couple other gimbal reviews that we're going to be doing over the coming weeks. So you don't want to miss them. You want to stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next one.